Today, Rockwall ISD students, we are going to be using strategies and algorithms, including the standard algorithm, to divide up to a 4-digit dividend by a 1-digit divisor. So specifically, in this lesson, we are going to be using the standard algorithm, and we are going to be just using a 2-digit dividend, and I like to think of that as in the house, and by a 1-digit divisor. And we'll work our way up to the 4-digit divisor. So for this, anytime I'm going to divide, it's always going to be set up in this structure and by a standard algorithm, and I'm always going to use a hashtag. And here's the reason why. Well, we'll get to that. We'll build our hashtag first, but we're going to think of this number, our divisor, is what we're going to divide each digit by. So we're going to say 4. I've got 9 boxes here, and this will help me because I can think 4 times 1, the first box is going to be 4. 4 times the second box, that's going to be 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times the third box is 12. Now these are your multiplication facts that you should know by heart if you don't, but it'll really help you to go through the division much quicker. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 6 is 24. Now, even if you know your multiplication facts, it really helps you get into going through division quickly, and the first couple times, first couple days that you do division, even if you know your facts quickly. Okay, sorry, we have 4 times 7 is 28. And I'm going to give you just a little trick in case you don't know. I can put 4 dots up here, and I can say 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So 4 times 9 is 36. All right, so we're going to use this to help us over here, but you can see I also have something lined up right here. So these are the steps that we're going to take to divide. And I'm going to just get, it goes to a little wrap, but I'm going to go through it. It goes divide, multiply, and subtract. Bring it on down and bring it on back. And when we bring it on back, then we are going to start over again. So we're going to go through this 2 times because we have 2 digits. All right, so now we're ready to begin. The other thing I want to draw your attention to is that anytime that we multiply, so if we said 58 times 4, whoops, can you see that? No, you can't. If we multiplied 58 times 4, we would start here and we would start on this side and work our way back this way. If we subtracted 58 minus 4, we would start in the ones place. And if we added, we would start in the ones place. But this time, I'm going to show you differently. We're going to start with the 4 and we're going to divide into the tens place. This is the only operation where we start in the different value place. All right, let me get rid of these others that I've shown you. So we're going to start with 4 can go into 5 how many times without going over? So I could go 4 into 1 time, that would give me 4. 4 2 times would be 8, that would be over. So I just need to stick with once. So the first box is going to give me once, so that's dividing, okay? So I'm going to divide. Anytime I use my hashtag, I'm dividing. When I divide, my answer goes on the top, so divide. Then I'm going to multiply. I'm going to divide. Everything happens against this divisor. So 1 times 4, and sometimes people will put a little multiply sign there, sometimes they won't. So 1 times 4 is 4. So I'm going to put it right down here, and this is where we are always going to have, sometimes people like to draw a line here so they can see and keep it, or you can move your lined paper. Instead of writing on it regular, you can write it on up and down. And then so it's divide, multiply, and subtract. So now we're ready to subtract. So now we have 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring it on down. So remember that 8, we haven't even looked at that 8 yet. We're ready to bring that 8 down to sit beside this 1 digit. And now we're going to have 18 as our new number. So now we went divide, multiply. So we divided and got 1, multiply and subtract. Bring it on down, and we're going to bring it on back. That means we're going to start all the way over. So we're going to start over and with the 4 again, and we're going to divide 4 into 18 now. Okay, so now 4 can go into 18. So we've divided, multiplied, and subtract. Bring it on down. We're going to bring it on back. So sometimes you can also check those off, is also good. So 4 into 18. So I can look down here and I can see here's 16 and 20 would be too much. So 18 is right in the middle. So 4 can go into 18 1, 2, 3, 4 times without going over. So that would be 4. So my answer is going to go right up here in the ones place column. It's very important that we keep our place values here. So I've divided. So divide, multiply. So is my next step. 4 times 4 is 16. And you can also look over here. 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4 is 16. And subtract gives me 2. Bring it on down. There's nothing to bring down. So I know I'm finished. Because remember, I just had to go through this twice. So I know I'm done. So a lot of times I put a dash there. Okay. So look here. I have a remainder of 2. All right, and so we can go over this. So now a remainder means that we have a leftover. So let's talk about that remainder over here. Now sometimes you will not have a remainder, and sometimes you will have a remainder. Sometimes it will be an even amount to everybody, like probably you did in 3rd grade quite a bit, even though you didn't set it up like this. So if I took 16 and divided by 4, you would have 4 in each group, and you would not have a leftover. Okay, so now if I have 29 pieces of candy, and I wanted to divide them with my 4 friends. Okay, I want to see how much each of my 4 friends would get. Well, looky right here, I don't need to make a new hashtag because I've got this hashtag right here that I can use. So not every time will you need to make a new hashtag, and so that's really neat. I'm going to use divide, multiply, and subtract. Bring it on down and bring it on back. That means I'm going to start over. But I'm going to start with my 4, which is my divisor, and I am going to divide it into the tens place, the very beginning. So that'll be my 2. So 4 can go into 2 how many times? Well, 2 is not even on here. It's not large enough. So that means it can't go in there. If it can't go in there, then my answer is going to be 0. Okay, so I've divided. So 0 times 4 is 0. So I've multiplied. Divide, multiply, and subtract. So I'm going to subtract. I'm going to bring it on down. So I've got 29. And now I'm going to bring it on back. That means I'm going to start over. So now I've got 4, and I'm going to divide that into 29. So let's look on here, see where 29 is. 28 is the closest number to 29 without going over. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So 7, I've divided. 7 times 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28. And divide, multiply, and subtract. I'm left with 1. There's nothing to bring back. Sometimes I forget to do my check marks. I can just double check that I did that. And now I'm finished. So that means this 1, I can't just leave down there. I have to put it up here as part of my answer. And remember I said I had 29 pieces of candy and I wanted to give them to 4 friends equally, the same amount to each one. I can give them 7 pieces of candy, but 1 piece is left over. So I can either set it to the side or I can eat it myself. But this would be my answer, that I have 7 pieces of candy to each friend with a remainder of 1. So 29 divided by 4 equals 7 with a remainder of 1. So today we learned how to divide a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number, and we used a hashtag and divide, multiply, and subtract. Bring it on down and bring it on back.